Look, it's a little worm in the ground. Oh, I wonder what that'll do. Hey, the airship just bounced off it. That must have required a lot of force coming up from the ground there. So, Ruby Weapon just being like near the Golden Saucer, scaring away business. It's probably because it's pretty reliant on tourism. 100% reliant on tourism, really. So, I've only got Cloud. Because otherwise, he's sort of completely immune. And so, God, that's so loud. It's time to cheese the fuck out of Ruby Weapon. There are some alternate things you can do using dazers, using a lot of hero drinks in combination with, like, in combination with Omnislash. I think somehow bypasses his otherwise immunity. Hades, of course, doesn't exactly do a lot of damage. While Knights Around does a little bit more. Should, at least. Yeah. So this is 15 attacks. 15 attacks of 7,000-ish. Yeah, so 10 casts of both of these should kill him. And of course I've got HP Absorb attached to Knights of Round. It's also attached to Hades, albeit because Hades does so little damage it doesn't really absorb anything. I mean, it's always the same. You'd think they'd manage to get that last knight not clip with his own, like have his cape not clip with itself. It's times like these, indeed only this, because I'm more or less, well, other than a couple of times against Emerald Weapon, I don't really ever use summons, but it's times like these when you really wish they'd included a quick summon thing. Like at 10, when you summon Anima with the quick summon thing, you end up, it doesn't show the whole of the punching thing, and it just comes up with like, how many times did it hit? 18? Whatever, it comes up with like, you know, it just says like 1.5 million or something. Rather than doing each individual hit. And they really could use something like this here, because this is longer than Anima. I mean, Anima has a bit of a build-up, but at least all the hits are all at the same time, whereas these are not very quick. What can I talk about? So, Final Fantasy VII, of course, coming to an end. This is the last optional thing I'll be doing at all. Then I'll be doing Sephiroth, which will be one part, and then I'll be doing Final Fantasy IX. Hades did not paralyze him. Whew. He looks pretty paralyzed now. Yeah, it certainly doesn't look like he's moving. If these were all 7,000, then it would be doing 1.05 million damage per. But it's actually a bit over 7. It might even be 9 casts, plus the incredible, like, 180 damage that Hades does. So this is my 4th cast. So I'm possibly 1/3 of the way. I'm rather glad they didn't design any of the super bosses like they did. Like with Emerald Weapon's fine. It's, you know, it's got some gimmicks, but it's not designed in such a way that it's like. Oh, he's not paralyzed, but yeah. It's not designed in such a way where it's like, you need to only have one character, otherwise it's immune to all damage. Or anything stupid like that. And is immune to most damage anyway. Or highly resistant to most damage. Yeah, it's actually highly resistant to most damage. It's not immune. But yeah, it's totally immune to all damage when you've got more than one person. And yeah, I just don't really like how it's designed very well. Plus the way that grinding in this game works, it's not very. It's like you can level up, which is easy, but it takes a while actually. And you can source farm, and source farming is like enormously worse than getting all the spheres in FFVII. FFVII, it's a fair bit of grinding, but this is, other than the W item glitch where you can duplicate morphs, or I mean duplicate sources from morphing, it's, you know, it would take such a long time. I should survive this. Yeah, I'm fine. Although I do at least like how in FFVII you've got the ability to create a lot of weird combinations, like with well, miming everything. That's not a particularly weird combination. It's just an overpowered one. But also, you know, things like cover and 15 counterattacks. Equipping counter, which I actually don't think I have. I must not have picked it up from the Northern Crater, but or Northern Cave. But like equipping counter to Knights of a Round, and then you can have a bunch of them, and so if you get hit by anything, you counter with like 8 Knights of a Round. I would be much better here, but I'd also need to. Equip a ton of. Well, I need to get counter and master it over and over again, which would take. Well, yeah, I'd be saving time by taking a lot more time. So it's really not saving time at all. Is this the 5th one? I think it's the 5th one. Should I be waiting a tiny bit so that he becomes unparalysed, and then I use this so I paralyze him again? Because right now he's paralyzed, so I don't think it like stacks. I think it just doesn't do anything. I don't think it like re-paralyzes him. I think it just like he's immune to paralyze because he's still paralyzed right now, I think. But yeah, it's like he's immune to paralyze because he's already paralyzed, and then the initial paralyze wears off because it doesn't get reapplied. Yeah, he's unparalyzed now. So he must just become unparalyzed between the initial Hades. Well, becomes unparalyzed between that Hades and this Knights of Round. So it takes like my ATB timer plus 2 summons for him to become unparalyzed again, which obviously isn't very long. But still, I mean, he won't whirl sand me unless he takes a ton more turns than he's going to be able to. Oh god! Earlier, I said 1.05 million. This did. I meant 105,000 because 1.05 million would one-shot him. I'm somehow looking at these numbers as if it's Final Fantasy X or something, but it isn't. Yeah, if every single time it just alters me and then the thingy flames me. Ruby Flame. He's never gonna kill me. But maybe I should just wait a fraction of a second. Well, not a fraction of a second, obviously. That's probably a bit too short. Although this is still working fine, I don't think it really matters that he's hitting me a bit. Look, on the last one, last time I was hit, and then I did that, and then I used, Knights of Round. I got healed up to like 2 off my full health. It just so happened to do almost the exact amount which it needed to fully heal me, except not quite. It was like 2 short, which is pretty insanely close considering 9,999 is quite a lot larger than 2. It's a good job. It's a good job that Mime doesn't cost mana. Well, I suppose I will be able to Mega Relics myself, but well, then it'd take 2 turns, so that wouldn't really solve anything. Maybe applying Paralyze to a paralyzed opponent causes the Paralyze to maybe like counters it. Causes it to wear off. Yeah, it looks like it's moving again now. It probably just happens absolutely every single time. I wonder if there is a random element to how long status affects fast. Although given how consistently it seems to be unapplying itself here, probably not. If he just got unparalyzed, and this happens every 2 times, is this the 6th one or the 8th one? I think I've gotten hit 3 times after my first, so I think this is probably the 8th one? I could try counting these, that would make some sense. Oh, it doesn't make much difference. He dies when he dies. I don't change my strategy depending on if he's about to die. That's the way you get killed in Dark Souls. You're like, oh, he's about to die! Oh, damn it, I was too aggressive, and then I died. The fact that my... Does he actually counter with all... I mean, he must. Yeah. The fact that my ATB gauge doesn't even go off of being full after I've already done the attack obviously means that it has to be a counter. Well, actually, I wouldn't say that's obvious, but I'm pretty sure that that's what that means. That's sick damage. I mean, that's a hole of what? Like 5,000th of what the whole of Knights Around does. Less than 5,000. So as far as my stats go, I've got maxed out strength, maxed out defense, maxed out speed, and maxed out luck, but I don't have maxed out magic defense or magic, because those are the two which you can't get quite quickly. Or you can, but it requires you to have a certain combination of materia, like mastered to a certain extent, which I don't have. So, I mean, it's obviously not actually required anyway. So, I mean, it still works. Oh, there he's dead. That was the 9th. Yeah, that was the 9th one. That was the 9th one. And obviously didn't do full damage with that Knights round, because otherwise, achievement get, because otherwise I would have fully healed. So that did a bit of excess damage. So I guess you only absorb health from the damage you actually properly do, not the overkill, which it looks like you do, but you're sort of beating on a corpse at that point. Poor Yuffie and Sid with their no XP and AP. Although 50,000 AP is actually it's a ton. The XP is not very important though. Cloud's for some reason lower level anyway, and yeah, it's not like I needed any particular things anyway. Now, what does Desert Rose do? I can't even remember. Item blooms every 1,000 years. Well, that's not very helpful. I have no idea. Anyway, that was Ruby Weapon. Cheesed, as it essentially always is. Since... Well, I'd say every single strategy... I don't think there's an actual way to beat Ruby Weapon, which isn't cheesing him. There's just a lot of different ways in which you can cheese him. It's not like the other bosses, because he's like... Oh, he's immune to damage unless you've got one person. And he's super resistant to most damage, even if you do have one... So... Yeah, I'll tell you, there's only cheese strategies, really.